live and live. So, welcome to today's video. My name is Sarah. I'm a musician, I'm a writer, and I'm a zine maker. So in my last video, I showed my work out of this zine here. And I thought, since I showed that work, I thought it would be nice to show the rest of my work too. So let's see what I've got going on. So as you could maybe tell from my last video where I read some of my poems out of this big book here, I have a few zines that are dedicated to poetry. So obviously, like the third time I've showed this in this video, but yes, I have this big book that has, how many poems? 1, 2, 3, 4, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 poems in there. I also made 2 of those poems into mini zines, which we also saw some of last week. I definitely showed this one off, but then I also have this one. But again, I read both of those in my last video, so I'll put like the little eye up here so that you can find your way to that video to hear me read these poems. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about poetry today. Do you remember at like the start of the video when I said I'm a musician? So as a musician, I'm most interested in writing essays about music. Basically, when I started making zines, I wanted to like get my feet wet, test the waters, just kind of figure out what zine making was all about. So I ended up making a ton of minis. I ended up making like 6 minis all in a row. And so that kind of feels like a lot, especially when you go to these zine fairs and then everybody else has like 10 of these available, and I'm just over here with all these like little mini things, and I feel like it definitely gives off the vibe of I'm a baby zine maker. So I'm trying to like move out of that now. And you know what? It is okay, because I was a baby zine maker, and that's why a baby zinester. What do we call baby zinesters? I don't know. So I was a baby zinester. So it's okay that I did make all these minis. Music, most interested in writing essays about music, but I started off with these 3 little minis that are mostly playlist zines, to be honest. In my earliest zine making days, I thought it would be really cute if I could do like a playlist zine. And I came up with this idea because I was listening, like I listen to music when I go for my daily hot girl walk. I swear there was like 3 or 4 songs when I was listening, and I was like, wow, why are all these songs about coffee? Like I seem to be listening to, all of a sudden I'm listening to a whole bunch of new songs that are about coffee. So I thought, oh, maybe I should make like a playlist zine about that. Like 3 instantly came to mind, and I was like, well, a mini zine isn't that long, so I could definitely turn this into a playlist zine about songs that are about coffee. Then when I sat down to write it, I was like, wow, it's actually like harder to come up with 6 songs than I thought it would be. That's why it's mostly in brackets, because some of them are stretching it. And believe it or not, there is a classical music song in here as well. a classical the classical music movement, classical music piece. So then these first two are like, when they're singing, it's kind of like how coffee exists in office culture. Yeah, so kind of the idea of like using coffee to cope with your 9 to 5 40-hour work week. And then the next two are about like coffee and meeting your ex for coffee kind of deal. And then the last two are kind of random picks. So one is from a comedy. Thank you to my friend for introducing me to the Auntie Donna comedians. And then the last one is classical music, but it's exciting classical music. So if you have ever wanted to listen to kitchen gadgets being used as like percussion instruments, then I highly recommend Cats in the Kitchen by Philip Bimstein. We also saw this little guy in a previous video. We saw it in its work in progress format. So in that video it was all in pencil, the master copy in pencil still. But here it is here. So yeah, the title, the alternative title says it all. The first songs I learned on guitar, or songs that I can serenade people with. Because my name's Sarah, Serenade. If you go to my Practice With Me guitar edition, maybe I'll do like an iCard for that, or you can find it in the description box. And then you can watch me play the songs that I also put into here. Or some of them. Maybe some of the songs will be in here and others of the songs won't be. But anyways, that's the idea of that one. My third little music zine is just kind of the idea of like, if I organized a music festival, like who would I want to bring there? Let me say that again. If I had a nickel or a dollar for every time I organized a fake music festival, I would only have 2 nickels or $2. But it's weird that I did it twice, right? Is it weird that I've organized a fake music festival twice? The first time it was for like a project for a class that I was taking, but then the second time it was for this zine, and this is much less in depth than my project was. Like, I really only gave it a name and then decided on like the bands and performers I would want to bring to the festival. I didn't think of anything like where I would want the festival to be, or and then obviously my project was more focused on like budgeting and how are you gonna promote that, and anyways, yeah, but this is really like if you're looking for band recommendations, I don't know, people to listen to. I tried to do like one headlining act every night, and then like smaller acts before them, and then also I wanted to include my friends who are musicians. Yeah, so for example, like night 2 is like folk and punk kind of musicians, and then night 3 we move on to like rap and electronic music. This first mini zine that I made, I'm like so surprised at the attention that it's gotten. At one of my markets, this was a bestseller, and honestly, I always thought it was my weakest zine before I went out and talked to other Zinesters and people in the community looking to buy art. Because this one was the first one that I made, and I was just so filled with rage at the sight of my neighbor's artificial lawn that I made a zine about it. because I hate it. I hate it. Doesn't make sense. Literally, can anyone answer me that question there? Why would you install literal plastic in your front yard? And so if you're just as enraged as me about artificial lawns, this here is for you. Or if your neighbor has an artificial lawn, like, just drop it in this one in their mailbox, or you can make your own zine about how you hate their artificial lawn and drop it in their mailbox. Just for clarity, I have not put this in my neighbor's mailbox, but maybe one day I will. And then my last and most recent work is this one. I was just mostly looking to use up some of my magazine clippings because I had a ton. And this sticker on the back here, it turns out that I found that sticker on the ground, but it turns out it's like the National Art Gallery or something's logo, so I thought it looked like an eyeball. Like I have like there's someone watching you while you attempt to do what the title says. I thought it made me look cool, so I'm trying to like grapple through. You see that? I'm trying to grapple through my issues, I guess. Yeah, and like I wasn't intending to make this, but I guess my issues just vomited themselves all over my zine page. But I'm happy because originally I was planning to make kind of like a random, I guess this is a random zine, but you know, not really focused on a specific subject, but now this one is like, it's actually focused on a subject. Yeah, instead of being like an abstract. And yeah, so that's all of my zines so far, and I just wanted to share them with you so that you know they exist. Maybe it provided some inspiration for you. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to see more from me. Oh my gosh. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye bye.